Yes, I know, Irene, you know, I can see it on you. You want to jump on this conversation.
Yes.
Keeping girls in school. As an educationist and social inclusion strategist, what are you seeing out there in the field?
Okay, first of all, I would say that when we look at primary education, we have achieved some level of gender parity. But when it comes to secondary education and beyond, we are really far from target. And the reasons are not really far-fetched. We're looking at a case where, you know, it's not just about saying that girls should be in school, because that is what we hear people say, okay, we must send girls to school. But what about the belief? Do we really believe that girls should be in school? Nigeria still has the highest number of girls, you know, out of school girls in the world. Nigeria still has the highest number of child bride. Girls get married off before they turn 18. And in the words of Michelle Obama, I like to borrow from her, she says that when girls get to the point where people begin to understand their sexuality, that is when they begin to draw back on their education. Because when they're in primary school, you look at them, they're all, in fact, they seem not to have gender. They're all children. You know, but beyond that time, you begin to see the fact that the belief, the societal expectation of a girl is supposed to be in the kitchen and not even in the society, not outside
even
the
as
kitchen.
we speak.
Even as we speak, especially in the northwest and the northeast region of Nigeria. And even beyond that, the COVID pandemic has also made, you know, the fact that some parents have been brought down to poverty, and if they have to make a choice, you know, of who to send to school, they send their boys to school. So we have those issues. We have the issues of girls who got pregnant even during the COVID pandemic. And then the insecurity right now, especially in the Northwest. You know, emerging data is showing that 24% drop in enrollment rate in schools. And you'll be shocked that that enrollment rate will be more of girls. You know, so these are the issues we're having right now, you know, playing out in already bad situation we had.
Yeah, in the already bad situation that we had, yes. Because I remember that in 2018 when you came on Bridges, we were talking about girl-child education, and we still are not, you know, things, well, some people would say things have improved, but not to the expectation of inclusion and parity that we are trying to
we're trying to achieve.
Okay. Now, moving forward, Irene, what are the things that, you know, either parents, the society, and of course, even education strategies themselves, what are the things that should be put in place to ensure that we keep our girls in school?
We must walk the talk. First is the belief. Do we believe that these girls deserve an education? Do we believe that girls need to aspire to their highest potentials? Then second is to walk the talk. Recently, there was just a national dialogue forum for girls, and, you know, we're banding how much we spent. But if we look at it, when it comes to the grassroots, these girls, are they really going to school? And then when they are enrolled in school, because we're not supposed to be just looking at the enrollment rates, we're supposed to be looking at graduation rates. Because it's not enough for girls to be enrolled in school and a year, 2 years after, they are dropping out of school. So we need to be looking at enrollment pari passu with the numbers that are graduating. And then also, we need to go beyond the resources, because it's not just giving, okay, yes, we have always advocated poverty is a reason, there are no sanitary facilities in school and so on. And then, of course, but we need to now look at holistically the society, the social norms that underpin some of those things that make girls to stay at home. Those social norms are things we must really deal with as a society, as a family, and as a nation. And even in the education, I was watching a video where a guy said, you know, in a community in Kenya, when girls drop out of school, they go to the home of the parents to go and talk with them. Why did they drop out of school? And through that intervention, they got more than 40% of girls back to school. Are we doing that in Nigeria? You know, it's not enough to say we've enrolled them and then they drop out, and nobody is following up to know why they are dropping out. These are things we need to look at.
This is where I need to bring in Dr. Mero Mandara to join us on this discussion. She is a team lead of committed people across Africa. It's called the movement. I'd like to coin it movement. The movement is Keeping Girls in School Africa. Now, what is this all about? We need to share this so that you can draw out an area of collaboration with Keeping Girls in School Africa. It's not just in Nigeria, even in Ethiopia. You know, this movement is on. So Dr. Mero Mandara is joining us from Maiduguri. Please, let's get some measure of perspective from what this movement is doing.
So the reason for the initiative around keeping girls in school is stemmed from the conference that the Sultan of Sokoto, the Kabaka of Buganda, and the Ashanti of Ghana convened in Abuja in 2019 to discuss the issue of girls' participation and women participation in the development of Africa. And this stemmed from researches that have been found that showed that completion of secondary school is the most significant lever for improving the status of women and girls in the community, improving maternal health, improving child health, and also improving the agency of girls to be able to make informed decisions as members of the society. So following that conference, the traditional and religious leaders of Africa decided that they will take the lead in actually ensuring that girls in Africa complete secondary school at the minimum. So they decided that in doing this, that 3 issues need to be looked at. They would work hard to advocate and ensure that every girl completes secondary school. Secondly, that they will advocate and also put into example the need for girls to learn life skills in school, and that is create through safe spaces where they learn about themselves, about their reproductive health, and about their agency, and they develop confidence to be able to make informed decisions about their lives. And then the final thing is that they would also work hard and also advocate to ensure inclusion of livelihood skills, market-relevant livelihood skills. So this initiative seeks to ensure every girl in Africa completes at least secondary school, that's 12 years of grade 12, learns life skills in the process, and livelihood skill in the process.
Well, thank you. Overall, as we look through recommendations for societal and things that we need to do, even as individuals, Irene, let me get your perspective.
Okay, first, I would like to talk on the insecurity, because right now enrollment rates are dropping. Zamfara has actually closed down all the schools. Now, these schools, when you say these are not measures, it's good. Safety first, keep the children at home. But it goes beyond that. Are those children learning at home? And let's not kid ourselves. When you keep children at home, do you think they're really staying at home? Those girls who engage, may get pregnant. Those boys may be enrolled in some other things, So we are not actually doing the right measures. First, Nigeria is a signatory to the Safe School Initiative. And under the Safe School Initiative is the EIA, Education in Emergencies. Now, I have not seen any state governments, being proactive about the EIA, especially in those vulnerable areas. By now, the first stage of EIA was they asked all the schools to fence their school. We have gone beyond fencing because the bandits they bring down the fence and come in. So the second stage is to move the children out of those vulnerable areas to a safer place, and also give them alternative to learning, so that learning can continue, learning shouldn't stop. So for the insecurity, I think that every hand needs to be on deck for that aspect.
Let's look at technology. How does this play?
Okay, this year, International Day of the Girl Child, the theme is, our generation, digital generation, our generation. And what we're bringing into fore is to bring to the fore that we cannot run away from digitizing education in Nigeria. We have said this after the girls were kidnapped from Chibok and the Dapchi girls, and then we signed the Safe School Initiative. One of the things they were looking at cardinally in the Safe School Initiative was to look at how technology can play a vital role. If we had been serious 6 years ago, today, when you say children stay at home, they will have their laptops and their education put there. We can't run away from that. And I think right now we need to accelerate digitize our education, to have children have those things, so that even in the case of, in case of war, whatever emergency, children can still learn. Learning shouldn't stop because, children are not in school. So we need to work on technology seriously.
Now, finally, before I let you go, Irene, there's the conception that, there's need for inclusiveness for rapid development. I want your comment on this. What exactly, how does keeping girls in school help to accelerate development?
I mean, I draw the analogy of a parent who has 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. If you decide to train only the 2 boys, you're not going to get the maximum potential from your family. So it's like that for the nation. We have, when you come to our population, women are almost the same with men, you know, in terms of size, in terms of number. So it means that we are actually withholding half of our population from moving forward. We're not going to get their gross domestic product from them, or the national contribution to the national income. We're going to be missing out from that. And then, like I keep saying, every child needs an educated mother. The truth is that when a mother is educated, that education permeates the child even more than when the father is educated.
Well, let's now listen to Charity's perception. Charity is a regular on Bridges. You're welcome. And like